To the continuity of our Friday session, we'll try to see how the cloud hierarchy or the how the any specific services are created in Azure. So while creating any specific service as well, there is very important aspect which we have to understand is your region. Right. So someone had also a question on Friday that why we need to select the right region or the nearest region. So we'll go through that insights as well. Um, Now, just to get started with, we'll refresh what we discussed. We'll refresh what we have gone through on Friday. So if anyone can help me, what was the cloud hierarchy which we discussed? Which component would come first and which component would come after that?
Subscription, resource to
Mhm.
resource.
Okay. Now, and what all you could say cloud components, which we have also discussed. We have three different cloud components as well, right?
And yeah,
IaaS,
Uh-huh.
uh, PaaS, platform as service, and software as service.
Okay, cool. So, see, you should never, um, in any case, if you're trying to learn cloud, in any case, if you're trying to understand the insights related to cloud, three components or three services are also same. I mean, they have that same importance. Now, once you understand that three services or three components, then the hierarchy of a cloud comes into picture, which is subscription, uh, same so resource group, and resources or services. Right. So let's try to again recall it, what we discussed and what all these components are. Right. So once you open this Azure portal, Microsoft Azure portal, it should always start with a subscription, right? For you folks, I've shown you how different you will get. You have three options, right? Your free trial, which starts with 30 days of that trial with 200 credits. You have the other option, which is pay as you go, the middle option, and the last one is your students option, right? Now, once you activate, it would first ask you to create a subscription. It would rather give you this option, and here you have to start adding your subscription. So you can add what you want. You can create your subscription here, and depending on your subscription, that 200 credits would be given, and post that it would be automatic pay as you go, or it's a paid subscription, right? So one individual can have multiple subscriptions, which is a common thing, right? So if, and why is that so? Because for a one single person, he might be part of separate teams, right? One team might have a different subscription, one team might have a different subscription, right? So that is one possibility. So one customer or one individual can have multiple subscriptions, which is a very common thing. So this is my subscription. I can end up creating one more subscription, which is beneficial if I want, right? So that is one possible thing. Now, once you click on that subscription, you will get the list of options here. Now, we have also discussed access control mechanism, right? What is access control mechanism? If you want to give access at subscription level, once you click on that subscription, you will get this access control. Now, here you can add an individual, here you can add a group of people as well. Right now, we discussed about an individual. Let's suppose if I want to add this person, add as a role assignment, I need to select a particular role. Maybe I want to give a reader role, right? So if I click on reader role, there's this option called as select members. Now here I can select individual members. If not individual members, now it is very difficult, right? If you're adding every person, it is very difficult. Now let's suppose there is a team. There is one single team which is getting formed, a new team, right? So for that team, it is a team of 4 members, right? So for a particular team, there are 4 members. Now, as such, there will be 4 or 5 teams which are getting formed. Now, 4 or 5 teams means somewhere around 16 to 20 members, 4 to 5 members per team. So if for these 4 teams, there are 20 members. So all 20 members will raise an access. Now you have to, if you are working as a cloud admin, if you're working as a person who works on the cloud architect level role, you have to give all individual access to 20 members. It might be a subscription, it might be a resource group, or it might be individual resource. Now that is separate part. But if you want to give an access for all 20 members and so on, the group of people will getting added, right? It is not that only 4 teams will be created. Once a team is getting expanded, more and more people will join that particular team. It might be a development, testing, or a production support, whatever team it is. So in that case, if there are bulk members who are getting added to that specific hierarchy of a cloud, right? So what is best possible way? I mean, you can individually add people. That is not a big deal. But there is one component. Now we people who are for Power BI, we have already discussed that as well. We can create a DL. Now, what is DL? It is a group, kind of a group. DL in simple terms is called as a distributed list. It is called as a distributed list. Now, what is this distributed list? There will be a group created. For that group, you can raise an access. That particular individual can raise an access. So this group is already added here. Now, if I close this, see here, it is giving me an option user group or service principal. Service principal is our app ID. It is one of the standalone service which we will be discussing in our Azure sessions going further. But you can add an individual user, you can add a group as well, right? If you have created any particular group, you can add that group as well with, I mean, with that possibility, whomsoever gets an access to that group or distributed list, they will automatically access that particular subscription or a resource group. At whatever level you are giving an access, they can directly access it rather than individually adding that user. That is one possible way. So let me give you an example as well. Not sure if this is available, but let me see. Seems there is. I was trying to add a group, but it seems there is no group available as of now. The one which you are seeing at the topmost level, see 14th May test. So this 14th May test is nothing but a group. We just created a group. Now, if you're part of this group, how to raise access to this group, that's a separate process. But if you're part of this group, if there are 10 individuals, if there are 20 individuals, or if there are 50 individuals who are part of this group, every person will be able to access rather than individually adding them. Right. So here, once you click on the select member, it will list down all the groups, all the users who are already our domain. Every individual will be listed. Now, here, right? I mean, the count is restricted, but you can still search for that particular group or individual so that you can give an access to. And most of the companies, they follow this group or a distributed list, right? You need to raise access for the distributed list. Once you're added, there are different distributed lists. It is not that only one list will be created. There will be DL1. I'm just giving it a name. For this DL1, it would be a reader access. For DL2, it would be some contributor access, right? So there are multiple access or multiple roles which are available in Azure, right? One would be member access, or might be you have right, full access. Full access in the sense you can create or delete any particular resource or a service, even resource or a service group, even that possibility is there. So multiple groups can be created for multiple roles, and if you need an access, you can raise an access to that distributed list, and you will be automatically getting an access, right? That cloud architect or admin should not go back and add you again individually. If that group is already added, you will automatically get an access. So this is one of the access control mechanism which is widely used in any companies, right? At subscription, resource group, or at resource level. Now we are at subscription level. If you scroll down, I mean, you have to extend this settings option. Inside the settings option, you will get a resource group, right? So you have full flexibility. If you want to create any resource group, you can go ahead and create a resource group. If you start a subscription, until and unless you use any resource, it will not charge you. Use in the sense there is some resource created in that subscription, only then it will charge you. Without any resource, it will not charge you. I'm talking about resource. If you create resource group also, it will not even charge you a single penny. Now, how? Let me go back. This is my subscription. Let me show you some insights. See, my subscription is active since long. I mean, I've been using this subscription for a very long duration. So if you see, for the month of August and September in 2024, there were some charges. There were some charges, some 6,000. That means I frequently used. And prior to that also, in July and August, there were some charges. Post that, in March was the invoice date, but if you see the billing period, in January and February, I had used some 510 rupees. But still, my subscription is active. I mean, I haven't deleted my subscription. Without even deleting my subscription, what I've done is I've kept my subscription, I've kept my resource group. Only thing is, I have deleted the resources or services because I'm not using. So it will not charge you. This 0.06 is for very mine. I mean, it is almost zero. It will not give you any specific bill. So it is saying that due, but it hasn't deducted anything from my account. This is not a due. It's very small. I mean, it cannot be deducted from your card or your billing, whatever billing type you have added there. But you can still keep your subscription active. It will not charge you a single penny, right? So that is how the processes are, I mean, adhered in any cloud service. Without even using any services or resources, you will not charge for a single penny inside a subscription. Now you can go ahead and create subscription. You can go ahead and create resource group. Nothing it will charge. But once you create a resource group and once you start creating resources in it, maybe you have created ADF, even though you do not use it, but ADF will start charging you 1 rupees or 0.50 paisa for one day. Even if you not use it, still it will charge you because some services are created in. If you create an IDF, somewhere it will occupy some storage, some services will be activated in the background. So that is how the charging, I mean, the billing happens.